Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. So I have not done a vlog in a minute, and I decided I was gonna do a this video ends when I find a 5-star read. I am currently reading The Raven Scholar, which is an ARC that I received on NetGalley, and it is a high fantasy, epic fantasy, sci-fi book. So I highly doubt this is going to be a 5-star. If you know anything about me, those tend to be some hit or miss for me. And I'm really just trying to dabble more in that genre because I want to know for sure if I like epic fantasy or not. I've only previously tried some Brandon Sandersons and I really just didn't enjoy those very much. So I'm going to see if I like this, but I'm going to take you along and see if I'm able to find a 5-star read very quickly. I hope you enjoy this video and let's get started. So I wanted to go ahead and update you that this is going to be the shortest vlog ever. Unfortunately, I just completely forgot to record the reading experiences that I had. Now, I will say that I only read 2 books this whole time. So the first one I mentioned to you was the longest one, and that took almost this entire week. Well, it did. It took the whole week. I read The Raven Scholar. And so I'm just going to go ahead and update you on because I did eventually reach a 5-star. I'm so sorry that I forgot to film, but I want to go ahead and close this out. So The Raven Scholar is an ARC that I've received, and I will put the date right here that it's coming out. I was really surprised by this because it is a sci-fi mixed with epic fantasy, so I really didn't think I was going to love this one. I have previously tried a few epic fantasies, but only from Brandon Sanderson, and I didn't really love them. They were okay for me, but they were just a 3-star mid, and then one I DNF'd. So I was starting to think that maybe this just wasn't going to be the type of fantasy that I liked, but I wanted to try more, and I saw this one that it had really great reviews on Goodreads. And so I started this, and let me just tell you, I got to about 20% and I really considered just DNFing this. Sorry if this is a little wobbly. I am holding this. And nothing was happening. I was like, is this just what I'm destined to feel every time I read an epic fantasy, that they're just so boring? But I decided to push through, and I'm so glad that I did because when I got a few more chapters into it after that, it started to get really interesting. And I was hooked from that point on until the rest of the book, which I was so surprised. This book is very intricate and different and weird. Just honestly, that's the best way to describe it, is just strange. That's where the sci-fi comes in, I guess, that there is just different types of I don't know if you would consider them gods or what, but there's the raven and the monkey and the tiger and the dragon, and they are essentially this spirit or god or whatever you want to call them, and each team represents one, and they all compete to become emperor. And so the current emperor is a bear emperor, and they all go to different monasteries and they learn the way of the tiger or the monkey or whatever, and each one is known for their specific skill set. So the raven scholar is following a girl who becomes the raven contender, and it's the one that is known for its intellect and just different things like that. So it's super interesting. I'm not going to go farther into it because I don't want to spoil it. There's so much that I could say about this book. There's so much to really dig into it. But I did finish it and I ended up giving it 4 stars. And the only reason I didn't give it 5 was just because I do think that a good portion of it was dragging, and I also felt that it was just too long. I think it could have been wrapped up a lot sooner, but this may just be something that happens with all epic fantasies and maybe I'll get used to that. But for me, I also felt it was really confusing for a good portion, and I had to just go in and suspend my belief and just trust the process. And I did enjoy it so much more because I did that, but I will say I still don't think it's very reader friendly in the beginning. I think it's just throwing everything at you at once, and I don't know. I just think it could have been done a little bit better. So overall though, I loved it. There is a romance subplot in this, which I wasn't expecting. I actually didn't think there was any in this, so that was surprising. I really enjoyed that, and I really loved the characters in this one. I'm super excited to read the next one and to try some more epic fantasy. But as you guys know, this video will end when I find a 5-star read. So I didn't find a 5-star in that one. Immediately after, I was like, my brain hurts. I have got to read something light and easy. Just, I can't go into anything deep right now. I picked up My Lucky Charm by Courtney Walsh, and obviously I picked this up because it's around St. Patrick's Day. Today is St. Patrick's Day, but you won't be seeing this video on this day. So happy belated St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing my green. But anyways, I loved this book, and I feel so bad I didn't record it, but I honestly read it all in one day, and I'm not sure when I would have recorded because I was also not feeling great, and neither was my daughter, and I just had this horrible headache. I read maybe 1 or 2 chapters Saturday night, and then Sunday I literally just read this book all day long and finished it. So I basically read it all in one day, and no audio, just reading it physically, and I loved this book so much. Eloise reminds me of Annie from Practice Makes Perfect, so if you really liked that book, I would recommend trying My Lucky Charm. It is centered around St. Patrick's Day, but it's not super heavy in that, so I don't feel like you have to read it during that time. You could really read it at any time. But the first one is My Phony Valentine. Now, I don't think you really have to read them in order, but if you're wanting to, that's the first one. They do mention the characters from the first one, and they are in it, but it's not spoiling. They're going to end up together in the first one, so it's up to you if you want to do that or not, but I don't feel you need to read them in order personally. So this is following Eloise and this hockey player who is basically really grumpy and obviously just has a lot of backstory there for why he is not happy with where he's at in life. And she is hired to be his personal assistant to basically manage his life and try and help him acclimate to this new place in Chicago and to just start to lighten up and be more positive. And obviously you can guess what happens after that, but I just adored this book so much. I thought it was so sweet. I thought it was so funny. I just fell in love with Eloise, and I loved how it wrapped up. I love that there is just, I don't know, I felt like there was just an easy flow throughout the whole thing. The single dad trope is my absolute favorite now, I'm learning. If you like that, that's in this, and I just really enjoyed that. But I ended up giving it 5 stars. I just was completely surprised by this one and did not expect that this video would end with a 5-star rom-com, honestly. But it was a pleasant surprise, and again, I apologize that I didn't get any footage of that, but it is just what it is. Life happens, and we got sick, and I don't know, didn't do my best recording this weekend. But I hope that you enjoyed this video and the clips that I did get, and hopefully I was able to interest you in one of these books because they were both just really great reads. I will definitely be trying some more epic fantasy, so if you have any suggestions below. I don't really love Brandon Sanderson, so if you can think of someone who's just a lot different than him, please just leave me comments of also some just more beginner epic fantasy. I would really love to know. And until next time, friends, remember to read what inspires you. Bye!